Hey guys, welcome back. So for today's video, I'm going to be showing you my very first cut crease tutorial. I'm so excited to be showing you this video because I have been practicing doing my cut crease for a while and I feel like I finally got it down for my eyes especially. I do have smaller lids, hooded eyes kind of, but it's always been a little bit hard for me to do the cut crease just because I always did it too low and so on. So if you've had trouble with your cut crease, if you want to learn something, if you want to watch this video to see if maybe you can pick up a few tips here and there, I'm going to tell you step by step what I'm doing. It is going to be a little bit lengthy probably just because I want to get into detail. This is my very first tutorial for a cut crease and I want to show you so that way if you've had trouble with it, you can hopefully do this look. And I also decided to recreate the look that I had on Instagram. This is the picture right here, just because it has neutral tones and that was my first successful cut crease look. So I decided to go with that one just because they're neutral tones. I feel like if I did color, it might seem like it's more intimidating, and so I just wanted to keep it simple, keep it neutral. And I feel like this is a perfect look for maybe the holidays, Christmas, New Year's, whatever the case may be. You can also pair it up with some red lips. It's a neutral tone cut crease. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have me on Snapchat, you know how excited I was that day whenever I showed you my very first successful cut crease. So if you're coming from there, let me know in the description box because I know some of you guys asked me on there, did you film it? And I hadn't filmed it. But today that's what we're gonna do. So let's get started. Or grab your makeup because this one's going to be a pretty long video, but you're going to learn. So the very first thing that I'm doing is applying my primer, and I'm going to go ahead and just apply this all over my face. And then I'm going to use a second primer. I'm going to use the Lancome primer and I'm going to apply that right on top of that one. I like to do this just because my Lancome one really fills in my pores really good, and the first one that I apply is really moisturizing. Okay, so I am going to show you the way that I do my eyebrows, at least one of them. I did mix in a little bit of oil in my dip brow just because it's a little hard already, and using an oil just loosens it a little bit so I can use it and it could slide a little bit better. So I'm just starting with the bottom part of my eyebrow and then I work my way towards the top. I also like to brush it out in between so that way it can look nice and neat. Now I'm using my lemonade to clean up the bottom part, and I'm just doing my best to make it look clean and like a straight line. I'm just blending it out with my finger just because I feel like it looks more smooth that way, and I want to make sure that the longer part of the eyebrow looks really nice and neat as well. Now I'm just filling up those light brown areas a little bit more because you can really tell where I don't have any hairs. So that's what I'm doing right there. And then I just lightly move towards the inside because I don't want it to be harsh on the inner part of my eyebrow. Now I'm just going to use my Gimme Brow and I'm going to set my eyebrows so that way they don't move around. Moving on to the eyes, because I did my other eyebrow off camera, I'm using my MAC Paint Pot in the color Painterly, and I'm going to apply that to prime my eyeshadows. So I'm just applying that all over my eyelid, all the way to the top towards my eyebrow. And I'm also applying the same primer on the lower lash line because we're going to be applying eyeshadow there too. And trust me, it makes a big difference. I'm gonna use these two colors from the Lorac Contour Kit to set the primer. I just like the color, it's a good mix. So I just set that because I want to make the eyeshadows blend in a little bit easier. So I like to use my fluffy brush for that. Now I'm gonna take the color Tawny from the Lorac Mega Pro palette, and I'm gonna use this color as my transition shade. You kind of want a transition shade. It will make things blend out a lot easier, even for a cut crease. So right now I'm not concentrating on a certain area, I'm just applying it in my crease area. And don't be afraid to drag this towards the outside of your eyelid. You want to just go all the way out because your cut crease is going to be all the way towards the outside. Now I'm taking Saddle, and here's where things get a little bit more precise or more detailed. Right there, I'm trying to figure out where my crease is. So I open my eye, I close my eye, and you're gonna do the same thing for your eyes. As you can see, I have 2 little wrinkles, and I'm drawing my line that's closer to the brow bone and closer to the outer corner outside of those 2 wrinkles. And now I'm just gonna kind of wing it out as if I was applying eyeliner. I'm just gonna drag it towards the outside, and you are gonna drag it all the way towards the outside. So don't be afraid to do that either. I know it can look a little weird, but trust me, this is gonna look great. Then I'm going to drag that color into the very first wrinkle of my eye. Like I said, I have hooded eyes and my eyelid is not very large. So I'm just creating kind of like a fake crease a little bit higher than my natural one, which is perfectly fine because it's gonna look all even once we're done. So you just wanna drag that to the actual crease that you have. And of course, I'm gonna do the same thing to the other eye. Now I'm taking the same color, which is saddle, and I'm using the same brush, but this time I am just blending it towards the top. I'm adding more color because I want to intensify the brown, but I want to drag it towards the top. If it gets a little messy and you get some of this color on the bottom, don't worry about it because you're going to clean it up with concealer anyways, but you don't want to add too much brown all at once. You just want to do it little by little, and now I'm not even blending it that much. I'm just applying it and I'm flicking the brush up and down to kind of create a little bit more of a fade, but we're gonna blend that out anyways. So that's how it looks so far. It can look a little scary. Now I'm taking the color Tawny and I'm gonna use a clean blending brush, and I'm gonna apply that right above the brown, the dark brown. And as you can see, it immediately starts blending it out. So using different colors, one lighter, one darker, it really helps. And now I'm just blending that out. And now it's gonna create a transition from a dark brown to a light brown, which is what you want. And you're just gonna do a lot of blending out because you don't want any harsh lines, especially for a cut crease, because it's supposed to blend up. Now I'm using this very small e.l.f. brush and I'm going to intensify the brown. I haven't done my other eye, but I'm concentrating on one eye first, and I'm intensifying the crease line. I want that to really show up. That's personal preference. You don't have to have it this intense, but I just want it to look really brown and then fade or blend into a lighter brown. And as you're blending out, you want to use the same curve that you used at the very beginning. So you don't want to mess up that curve that you have going on that's coming from the inner corner of your eye all the way to the outer part, because you want to keep it the same. That's your crease and you already started that way, so try not to add too much color higher up. You want to blend it, but blend it towards the bottom if you have to, because like I said, you're going to clean up the bottom part anyways. Now I'm going to take my fluffy brush again and adding the color Tawny and blending that one more time. This is creating, like I said, the fade, going from a dark brown all the way to a light brown. Now I'm just gonna fast forward it through my second eye because you already saw it done once. It would be too much for me to repeat everything. You know, you get the idea. Do the cleaning up part, so I'm taking my Master Conceal, and this is just a regular concealer, and I'm gonna clean up the eyelid area. I'm starting from the bottom that's closer to my lash line, just because it's easier that way for me and I don't immediately start in my crease and then, oh my god, you know, I mess it up or something. So I just like to start on the bottom and work my way up. And you want to keep the inner corner very thin. You don't want to make it too thick in there because then you're going to mess up again that curve that you have. You want to keep the shape that you started with. So what I have to do personally is pull my eyelid. Right now you're gonna see me and I'm gonna use my other hand and I'm gonna have to pull my eyelid because my eyelids are wrinkly. You can see it immediately that, not wrinkly, but they're very soft. So you can see it that it gets all messy. So I have to pull my eye and I have to create a clean line. And after I let it go, it doesn't get ugly or anything like that. So don't worry. Just don't pull on your eye too hard if you're worried about, I don't know, creating wrinkles later on. Honestly, it is what it is. If I get them, I get them. But I just want a clean line today. So now I'm going to wing it out, pretty much wing out the concealer. I'm creating that same line. I'm following the same line that I started with. And you want to clean the cut crease all the way to the outer part, all the way to the back, all the way to the outside of the eyebrow. And now I'm just blending the concealer that's left over towards the bottom. You're not gonna be able to see that later, so don't worry about it. It is gonna look a little weird. It's gonna look like a little fish with a big long tail, but you're gonna blend that out later, so it's fine. And of course, I'm gonna do the same thing to my other eye. Wait, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do first. I'm gonna apply the color Peach Fuzz, and look, whenever I was holding up the palette, I looked up, so I had got concealer on the brown part, but I'm gonna fix that in a little bit. It's just because my eyes do that. So now I really need to set my concealer immediately afterwards without looking up, and I just used a shadow brush, and now I'm using a smaller brush because it's more detailed and I can get closer to the brown without getting too much color on the brown, because you want to keep the clean line, or the line clean. And I'm going to use the same color all the way to the outside because you don't want it to look weird. You don't want it to look like that, you know, peachy color and then really white from the concealer. So you just want to drag it all the way to the outside. Now I'm going to take the brown and I'm going to blend in that concealer that I got on my top part, and I'm going to just blend out a little bit more. And there you go. Now you can see, looks a little funny, looks a little weird. We're not done yet, but so far super clean, really nice. I really like the way that it turned out. Now I'm just going to do this eye, same way, following the curve, doing the exact same thing as I did on the first eye. And here I'm getting a little excited because it turned out perfect. So now I'm mixing those two colors and I'm applying that on my brow bone. I want a highlight up there and it looks really pretty actually, so I just blend that out with a fluffy brush once I'm done with that, but I do want some glow on my brow bone. Now I'm going to take the dark brown and blend in the line. I'm not going to, you know, mess it up or blend it too much. I just want to intensify the brown, but I also don't want a line. Like, you want to make sure that it's blended in even though it's in your crease. So that's what I'm doing right there. I'm blending it, and you want to use a small brush, especially if you have smaller eyes, and you just want to use a small brush because it's going to help you and it's going to be helpful because it's a good size for your eyes. And I'm just gonna blend that out. So you can see right there that the brown is intensified now. Now I'm gonna use this Stila eyeliner to create my wing, but I didn't like it. It wasn't really working. So I picked up my NYC liner and I'm gonna create a wing, and I'm gonna again do the same curve, the same shape. I'm gonna do my best to do the same shape as I did the cut crease. You want it to look parallel one from the other, because then it's going to look a little weird if your wing is too low and then you have the cut crease. You get the idea, it just looks a little weird. So now I'm just cleaning it up with concealer, and I am going to drag the concealer towards the bottom, but again I'm going to blend out that concealer anyway, so it's fine. So I'm cleaning up the wing, and I'm also going to apply the concealer on my lower lash line. You'll see that in a little bit because I'm going to add an eyeshadow and I really want it to show up. So like I said, I'm just dragging it to the bottom and I'm gonna blend it out later. There you go, blending it out with the Beauty Blender. So now I'm just putting that concealer on my lower lash line. Even though I already primed down there, I'm still going to use the concealer. And I'm going to use Tawny first, and then I'm going to go in with the dark brown right on top of that. I do use different brushes just because I don't mix up the colors too much, but whatever you want to do, whatever works for your eyes. I did apply black eyeliner, and now I'm gonna blend that black eyeliner or smoke it out a little bit so it doesn't look harsh. And I'm just adding black eyeshadow really close to my lash line, and then blending the brown with the black. Color on my, oh no, I hadn't at all, but I'm gonna add some shimmer, the same 2 shades that I applied on my brow bone. That's what I'm applying on my inner corner, and I'm blending in those 2 shades. I also decided that I wanted to smoke out the wing a little bit, so I added a little bit of black eyeshadow underneath it and then just smoked it out a little bit more. Now I'm just gonna remove any fallout because I did use black and all these colors, and I'm gonna mix these 2 products together. This is the Josie Maran foundation and the Becca liquid like glow. One of you guys asked me how I do this, so that's why I wanted to show you right here. I just use 2 pumps of the Josie Maran and 1 pump of the Becca one, and I mix it up with my finger, and then I apply some dots on my face, and that's all I do. It's really easy to mix those 2. They blend in together, like they really do mix in good. And then I just apply it all over my face and blend it out with my beauty blender. I'm gonna conceal my under eyes. I'm using the Erase Paste by Benefit, and I'm gonna apply that on my semi-dark circles. They're not really that dark right now, thankfully. And I'm gonna blend it out with the beauty blender. And just don't get too close to your eyeshadow because you don't want to mess that up either. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of the NARS concealer because it's more of my shade. The Erase Paste is more pink, so this one kind of neutralizes it. And I'm also gonna apply a little bit on my forehead and on my chin. And I'm just gonna blend it out with the beauty blender, like I blend out everything else. And I'm also gonna bake. I'm using the NYC translucent powder, and I'm gonna apply that on my under eyes, also on my forehead. And I didn't apply any concealer on my nose, but I'm still going to use this powder to set my nose. And to contour, I am going to use the Lorac Pro Contour Kit, and I'm gonna use the light color. And I didn't even contour my forehead or anything, I completely forgot. I'm gonna apply Songbird by Becca for my blush, and I didn't even use bronzer. I forgot my bronzer, you guys. I had it there in front of me, but I completely forgot to use it. I'm gonna clean up the contour. Well, in a minute, not yet. I'm gonna clean up the contour now, but I'm not gonna leave it for long. I'm not gonna really bake it. I'm just cleaning it up. And now I'm gonna take a clean brush and remove the powder from my jawline, from my under eyes, from my nose, from everywhere. I love this baking powder. Like, I hadn't used it in a long time. I forgot how much I really like it. And you'll be able to see on my under eyes how bright it looks, but it doesn't look cakey or creasing or anything. Like, look at how it looks. It looks really nice. I forgot how much I liked it. I don't even know why I stopped using it. Now I'm gonna take a fluffier brush to blend everything out because I don't want it to look really harsh or anything like that. And I'm gonna contour my nose a little bit. I didn't add any more product. I just used the same brush, and now I'm just, contouring my nose just a tiny bit. I'm gonna take the Becca product that I used to mix in with my foundation, and since it's a liquid, I'm going to apply it on the highest points of my cheeks. This is gonna be my highlight, and you can tell that I'm adding quite a bit. I'm gonna apply that there and then on the sides of my eyebrows a little bit, and I'm going to set it with my Becca Moonstone highlight, and you're gonna see the glow that it gives. It is just a perfect combination. I've been using these two together and it does such a good job. I really like the way that it turns out. So there you can see how much glow I have. So obviously I'm gonna do the same thing
to the other side, but I just like to do one and then the other sometimes, just so I can hurry up and set the liquid one and it looks really intense. I'm also going to apply that on the bridge of my nose and on my cupid's bow. I'm checking out my glow. Look at how much glow I have. I really like it. And I'm taking a clean brush because it can look kind of like a line since first I applied the liquid, then the powder, so I kind of want to blend that out. And now I'm just going to use my Roller Lash Mascara by Benefit to separate my eyelashes, but to intensify the black of my eyelashes, or to have my eyelashes more black, I'm using my Revlon mascara that I love for volume. So that's what I'm doing right there. It's a little weird mascara, but it works so good. Now I'm gonna take my NYX Liquid Suede and I'm like, you know this color. It's one of my favorites. It's Sandstorm and it matches with every single look. Like I said, you can also apply red because it's a pretty color for the holidays, but this is the complete look. I loved it. Look at the crease, look at the glow. I really love this look. Hopefully you did too.
So that is it for today's tutorial. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun telling you how to do this, showing you how to do this, just because it's my very first cut crease tutorial. But that is it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section what other colors you would like for me to do. I want to do a very colorful lid. I'm gonna keep doing more looks and I'm gonna do different colors so that way we can see different looks and I can try out different colors on my eyes. But that is it for today. Let me know below if you liked this cut crease look, my take on it. And that is it for today. I will see you all on my next one. Bye.